In order to lead effectively, you must be able to delegate well. And this sounds obvious and like common sense, but it is much harder to let go of control than it sounds. If you want to know if you're guilty of holding on to too much, I want you to answer this simple question. If you had to take an unexpected week off of work, would your goals and priorities still move forward in your absence? If you answered no, or you're unsure, then you might be more involved than is actually essential. So something I want you to keep in mind as we progress through this next section is, are you engaged at the right level? It is essential to stay involved, yes, but the degree matters. When you're too involved in your work, you run the risk of both burning yourself out and micromanaging your VA. But if you're too hands off, you could also miss critical moments where feedback would have actually been essential. And you might be asking yourself, how the hell do I know if I'm too involved or not involved enough? I have a simple mindset shift to help you let go appropriately. I want you to ask your VA to create SOPs around certain tasks. Now, SOPs, which stands for Standard Operating Procedure, I like to use that term, but we're not going to get so nitty-gritty here on what that actually is. Instead, I want you to think about this as having them co-create a process for how work gets done. Now, this is going to help you relinquish some control because this mindset shift is important. You're beginning to give up control. It's small, but it's important. So here's how this works. When you assign a new task to your new VA, ask them to help write down the process for how this task gets done. There are ways that you can both do this together. You will start by giving clear, detailed instructions for what the task is, how your VA will know when they're done, and what makes this task successful. So here's an example. Let's say one of your more frequent tasks is travel. You travel a lot for work, and it's just become something unsustainable that you want to hand off to your VA. Now start by giving them clear, detailed instructions, and this should include things like, do you have a preferred airline? Are there times that you want to avoid flying? Like maybe you hate 6 a.m. flights. Give them that info so that they know not to book you on such an early flight. Do you prefer an aisle or a window? Do you want them to book you in economy? Or is there a price point which you're comfortable booking in business class? When should they use business miles? Or should they only book using a specific credit card? Now, these are just certain examples that you can type out for your VA. And then give them the task and ask them to complete this SOP. What this means is that once they have your preferences and your details, they can then fill in the blanks. Now, this, again, is a small mindset shift because in essence, you're allowing them to complete the task in any way they want. They could check kayak for flights. They could go directly to the websites. They could call airlines. It doesn't really matter how they get the task done in the background. What matters is that they have your specific details for how you like something to get done, and then they'll fill in the rest. Co-creating processes around certain tasks does a number of amazing things for your business. It is an important mindset shift for you to relinquish some control because in essence, you're giving up how exactly to do something. You're allowing your assistant to flex their own creativity and their own methods for certain tasks. But two, it also helps involve your VA in the process because there's nothing better than a virtual assistant who can give input for how to make a certain task better, how to do something faster, how to be more efficient. Having a great VA essentially is like having a great business manager who will not only do tasks that you request, but will also feel empowered to offer suggestions for how to make things better. And this is such a crucial step. So when you are hiring your first VA, talk to them about how and why you want to make some of these task procedurals together. Now, in the next section, we're going to look at both good and bad examples of how to delegate tasks, because you might think you're being clear, your VA might think you're being vague. So the next section, we're going to help you guys come together and provide crisp, clear, detail-oriented emails and task requests that help everybody get on the same page.